Hello everyone, my name is Sergey and welcome to my YouTube channel. This will be the series of videos where I am reviewing the projects sent me by my followers. We'll be reviewing them, we'll go through the best practices and well, in general, I will just check them and I'll give my feedback. Maybe some changes in the code that have to be done, and that's about it. So I think let's start. We'll review the project sent by one of my followers and friends, and his nickname is Anon, Anon the dev. So he has sent me the two projects. Basically, what we'll do, we'll just go through his GitHub profile, the GitHub pages and of his repo, check the documentation that he has made, and well, in general, just go through the projects that he sent me. So he has sent me two projects, and one of them is his screen recorder app, and another one is his portfolio app. So we'll go through them, and I think let's start with just basically checking his GitHub profile in general. From what I have seen right now, and it's nicely done. He has done his Git commit history was a bit empty over here. What happened, man? What happened on these few days? The August is pretty empty. But anyway, he's 16, he's techie front-end developer working with HTML, CSS, JS, React, Tailwind, and a bit of Next. Based in India. See my portfolio. Okay. Can contact me. Make yourself a professional email, man. I'm currently working on blog thumbnail generator and learning Next.js, noob digital artist. Actually, he is doing some really nice arts in Blender, I think. And follow his Twitter account. Wow, almost 1,000, man. That's good. There's socials, GitHub stats, and Git commit graph, which is literally empty. Do something about it, man. And if you include something like this, make sure it's like nice and filled with some stuff, or at least you have something, because right now it looks like that flat line on the heartbeat monitor, and or either delete it or do something. And okay, so let's go with the portfolio. And again, I have the same thing. I see it's based on Vercel, but change the icon. It's really very simple, and this is the first thing that I see, at least, because I scan the thing from top to bottom, and change your icons. It's like, it's 5-second job, man. Okay. Hey, Anon here, a high school student and front-end developer. I love coding, physics, and mythologies too. Tools in my tech workshop. Okay, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Next, Tailwind, Bootstrap, and Fireshift. Oh, Firebase. Okay, so a few projects of mine, weather app, news list, Nording homepage extension. You like Nords, right? That's cool. Of course, the picture. If you don't want to show your picture, just hide it, because I mean, it's clearly not you, right? It's unprofessional to keep there. But as for now, it's okay. So let's check. Just usual check responsibility, responsiveness, and it has some issues over here. I doubt that it should be that way. Let me go just to responsive and see, maybe something went wrong. Yeah, you need to work on this responsiveness, because I think you're using small most probably as your breakpoint. A bit unpredictable. I think I'm mostly sure that this is because of this effect here, because this happening only when they come out over here. Yeah, so you need to work on that. It's nice and cool having this floating thing outside, but I think it breaks. I think it breaks your responsiveness. Yep. So you need to work on that. And other than that, I think it will be the same issue here. Not sure. Okay, it is responsive, not to the extreme, but who cares about those extremes? And yeah, I think, I'm not sure, I will check the code, but I think this is being invoked by the height of the screen. I believe, I'm not sure, but it looks like this to me. And I think it should be actually done not based on the height of the screen, but it should be done based on the scroll position. And this is the one portfolio. This is one live project. Let's go to another live project first. And once that next live project, we'll check the next live project, we'll go through the code. So the screen recorder is the next one, and there is no README over here. So that needs to be done. And I know that you have sent me the response somewhere here. Wait, yep, somewhere here I have you. I think you have responded me with the link to the live version. Yeah, okay. It was actually open. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Anyway, the screen recorder, it is a nice idea. I like that. So you can start the screen recording and share the screen. So it is the recording something what I'm doing. You have the preview in. I wouldn't do that because as you see, you're having that recursive screen. I think this loads a lot the system. So I wouldn't maybe do that, or at least I would try to make sure that if it is on the same page, you don't record it. And if it is you are on another tab, then you are recording it. And but it's cool, and I love that. And I had something like this in mind recently. And here you can check his recording. It looks well. I'm not sure if I can. Okay, the progress works now. I think there was something wrong. It was not working previously. I can do that. I can reduce it. It does work. Why? There was some issue with the full screen previously. Okay, and another thing, what I have noticed over here, that when I'm minimizing it, you are expecting that when you minimize, you are left on the same place that where you have been initially. So I would, in your case, I would make sure that when you are minimizing the screen, you are not going on the top of the screen, but you are being kept on the same place where you have initially went to the full screen mode. And I think this is doable. I don't know if this is responsive and if it even should be responsive. Really, I don't think it should be, but let me check. Okay, so it's if I will use the tab only and this screen recorder share. Okay, I'm recording this tab. Okay, so we check the project. You can also download it, which is cool. And document cannot be open, not compatible. Okay, this is my Mac OS incompatibility, but I believe it's okay. Cool. So what we'll do now, we'll go through the portfolio first. We'll check the code. We'll see for the comments how the code is structured and so on. And let me get my terminal, please. And we will start. And terminal, let's go. Let me clear my previous terminal and move it over here. Cool. Clear. Git clone. No. We will go to the videos and we will do one new one, Anon the dev, and cd and git clone. We're cloning into it, and cool. So of course the VS Code will be open on the my bad. And now cool. And let me move my VS Code here. Cool. So everything is here. It is built with Next.js. So let me, is the yarn? It's yarn. let me install the dependencies and then we go through it. Pages, API, hello.js. Okay, this is a default file. You can remove it. Better remove it. I mean, it does not serve any purpose, so it shouldn't be here. And okay, yarn run dev. It works. And I can see it indeed. Cool. Made with Next.js, Tailwind, and music. Cool. Okay. Let me just. No, okay, fine. I will be just navigating between the windows anyway. We don't need it right now. Okay, so the API, as I said, just remove it. It's Next.js default when you're creating an app with create a Next.js app. It's default page, so it's really useless. I have app.js and index.js. Oh, so it's a single file. Okay. That's not bad, honestly. Component. Okay, component coming from my app. And iOS. I don't really know what's the iOS is. What is what am I doing? iOS. Animate on scroll. Okay. Okay, this is animate on scroll library. Cool. I think this T3 icon came from somehow from my own files from the cache. That's weird. Anyway, so it's all one single file. I'm really against single files applications because I mean it's like 365 lines of HTML and JSX, to be honest, to be clear, and it's harder to read. But anyway, let's go. If window is object, then init. Okay. So I see you have main, and main is just, yeah, main is basically wrapping everything. So I don't head. Okay, head, you have divs, but there is no any JavaScript, I think, so it's not much of my thing. It's literally, I wouldn't go with Next.js at all. Honestly, you don't have any much of functionality over here, and it's basically just HTML. So I would keep it just HTML without any libraries or without any frameworks at all, because why? Okay. So, and since there is no really JavaScript, I don't see a point of using Next.js. You are not actually using Next.js capabilities. You are not using Next.js functionality. So it could be just done in the HTML. And okay, you want the Tailwind, do the Tailwind. I don't have the portfolio right now. I had a portfolio and it was plain HTML, CSS, and some of the JavaScript. Because what's the point? I mean, let's say I'm in an interviewer and I'm checking your portfolio, and my main question would be, why Next.js? And in this particular case, you don't use server-side rendering much. You are returning the, let me just see, I mean, let me just go to the network tab and let me, what is that nice thing with sources, Index.js, and give me a second. There was one tab where you can select what type of requests you want to see, and where is it now? Okay, it's here. So yeah, let's go to the full and refresh it again. So what you are receiving here is JS logo, index.js, which is, I think, the your build project. I don't see any HTML over here, to be honest. Um, Localhost. Okay, you are actually receiving the HTML over here. So this is your HTML. And basically, what you do here, you are receiving the HTML. This is just a static HTML file. You don't have any much of functionality over here. It could be just a simple based on those three pillars. Okay, Tailwind instead of CSS, fine. But as I said, as the interviewer, my first question would be, why is it Next.js? Why you have used it? And I don't see a single reason where you can say, like, I have used it for the SSR, or I have used it for because I want a full stack application, or I have used it because I know I'm using some edge functions, which you don't. And it's pointless. And when I will see that, and I will see that you won't be able to justify your decision, I will have questions. I will have questions why you have taken that. Why not just simple HTML, CSS? Why not React? Why you haven't used something like, I don't know, jQuery? Though again, there is no functionality, so of course you cannot use jQuery. So it's a bit of an overkill to use that kind of a framework for a simple static application. That's that's my take on that. And since it's basically HTML inside the Next.js, because you don't even use the Next.js image, which is one of the things that Next.js is very cool for, because what Next.js image component is doing, it is like what they call it, or at least what I remember they call it. Um, it's an image tag for the modern web. So what they do is they make sure that that your images are responsive. They make sure that your images are reduced for different clients that you have used to access your web app, and the web app itself isn't too much of an overkill. And again, if I would be an interviewer, I would ask, why did you use the HTML image tag? Why haven't you used the Next.js image tag? And even here, you can see, do not use image, use image component from Next.js image instead. And see this. And let's just go, it's an ESLint error. Let's just go on this website and check what this error is saying. No image element. Why this occurred? An image element was used to display an image. Use either picture in conjunction with image element, or use next image that has a better performance and automatic image optimization over just a simple HTML image tag. And this is how it's used. So it's basically used the same exact way you have used it, but it has a lot of things happening under the hood that optimizes your images for the modern web. Another thing, let me just go through the network tab again and see everything and check your images, because this is something that a lot of people overlook. They are very small, and this is a good thing to do. They have been optimized, and I really love it. And I would still make them WebP, because this is a very nice modern format for the images in the internet, and they are supported. I think they are supported by all the browsers. Can I use? And no, let me do this way. Browser support WebP, and they're like Internet Explorer is not supporting them, which is okay. And KaiOS browser, which is, what is this even? I have never even heard about that. Yeah, so this is the thing. The image, while it's still very small, it's good that you have optimized it, because what I see from the size, it's most probably optimized. I am not sure that it will be some different result over here. I highly doubt it, but let me just see and load it again. And they're even more optimized here. Cool. Good. So that's about the portfolio. Portfolio is, it's not much to speak over here. Like, you have an image, you have a lot of image tags over here. If you ask me, this is bad. And I'm not trying to be harsh, okay, but this is bad. What is change? Like let's take a look at this tag, at this piece of code, and understand why I'm saying it's bad. First of all, you don't have alt, and this is extremely bad. But that is a different thing. Please use alt for your images because this is used for the accessibility purposes, which means not only accessibility and basically user experience, because in case user has low internet connection speed and the image was not able to load, you will get that empty image tag, which is no image, like no image icon, I would say. You'll get no image icon Chrome, maybe. Oh, sorry, Chrome, and I'm still not getting it. No image available, maybe, but it will give me the same thing. So anyway, at some times you're getting, like, for whatever reason you've got some issue with the image loading, you're having that icon that with the broken image, and if you hover it, at least it will describe you what that image is. If you have any disabilities, visual disabilities or impairments, you will not be able to see the picture, though the screen reader will read through the alt tag, which is here, and it will tell you exactly, at least exactly, it will tell you what that image means. Right now, it doesn't, and it's bad. But we are not talking about the accessibility right now. We are talking about, in general, what's wrong with this code. So let's go one by one. You have image tag. Data AOS is fade up left. It's fade up left here, it's fade up left here, and it's fade up left here. You have class name, which is MX Auto, and you see, okay, this one is a bit different though. Why? Wait. This is div with all the images. And these images are all CSS logo, HTML logo, JS logo. And why they're different? Wait a minute, why they're different? Style, please remove. Because they are all positioned differently. This is positioned in the left bottom. This is just in the bottom, left bottom, just in the bottom, not pretty sure why you have made it that way, first of all. And I would just position them centrally, and that's it. That's the end of the story. But even let's say you have different class name and different source and different alt. Instead of doing this, what you could do is you create okay, anyway, let me do it in a different way. And let me go here, up here, and say const icon list, which is an array. And this array of objects that contain class name, and there is some string tailwind thing inside. And let me actually increase this a bit. Let me close it right now. You have a class name. Then what else you have? You have your source, which is some URL source of the image. And you have your alt, which is, this is HTML icon. For example, you do the array. Oh, I didn't put the comma. Wait. You make the array of these objects that describe your image. And then when you get here, instead of writing all this so many times, because your data AOS is same, if you ask me, the class name in the grid should have been same too, but that was your decision. And you pass it here, icon list, you map through it. You map through it, and what you return is image with AOS data or data AOS. I'm not pretty sure what it was. Whatever, let me just put anything. And data AOS, blah, blah, blah. Your class name is your icon class name, and your source is your icon source, and your alt is your icon alt. And that's about it. That's your whole that thing in the code, and it's way easier to read because you know that there is some icon list. You can go and check what is that. You can change something here, and this is how it looks. So it's way cleaner. Because what you have done right now, it looks like a pure HTML. And again, the same question, why have you used Next.js? And I don't think there is much more to say over here. You have target blank, which is your GitHub, which is your A, and code. Okay. Another thing, same. I believe it is same. You have here div, no refer blank, la la la, which is the description of the object. This description of the object over here, this description of the object will share, or mostly will share, everything same that you have in your other projects over here, and over here. And again, we are not just repeating the code without a purpose if it is not a plain HTML. If it is a plain HTML, then I do understand why you have done it that way, because this is how HTML works. But React and most of the component libraries and the Next.js itself provides you with the ability to exclude the repeating code and just pass it through the array. Make the array of objects that will contain the data for this particular thing and just map through that array and render it. So I would say get rid of Next.js. It is not required over here unless you will do something like this. And even like this, just for this one purpose, bringing the whole Next.js into your project is pointless, because this can be done just with the vanilla JavaScript, where you are creating the array of things, then you are rendering it with HTML something into the DOM, excuse me, and you have your JavaScript that picks that particular element in the DOM, creates one object, which will be an HTML, populates it with the data from the map, from your array, and just populates it in the DOM. So you don't even need the Next.js for that. Tailwind, I mean, I'm not be going through the Tailwind. I see that you have done it, and it's fine. It's Tailwind. Maybe I would do something like MD. What I like to do, though I don't use Tailwind that often, is you have your first you do that for the mobile screen views, then you do for hire, and then you do for hire. So they're all aligned like this. But again, that's just really up to you, and it's for you to decide what you are doing with that. And with regards to the project itself, I have explained to you, and I think that is enough. We won't be spending more time on the portfolio because I am more interested in your screen recorder. Please add a README. I think this project is still in development and you are still working on it, but please add the README. At least few words what about it. I mean, I understand what screen recorder, and add your live link to the live project, but you know about that already. The interesting thing over here, you have used HTML, JS, and CSS for this project, which is involving even more way more JavaScript than your portfolio, but for some reason you have done this with 3 base languages, though in the previous project where you don't have any JavaScript, basically you have decided to go with Next.js. So yeah, it's a weird decision, but it is fine. I am taking this project right now. I am not looking into the previous project. So let's go with that, and let's clear this thing, I will just increase it a bit. So for you it will be easier to see. Let me clear it again and git clone this thing. So let's see our screen recorder up. Oh, sheesh. And okay, so screen recorder, and let's go code. So it's vanilla, which is good. I don't have to install any dependencies most probably. And since there is no package.json, for sure I won't do that. And let me see, I think I'll have to go with the live server here. Most probably yes. And so let me run the live server. Yeah, it's open. Checking the console log. Console log is empty, which is good. You don't have the favicon. Something went wrong with your favicon because it does not exist. Please add the favicon. This is, as I said, use your own favicon. Maybe you have your own some Anon the dev favicon, some branding, styling. If it is screen recorder, man, just make a SC icon and put it there. It's just a nice thing to see. Screen recording made super simple. True. And let's go here. You have your UTF. Okay. Content, viewport. Okay. Styles. We are using pure CSS. Good. We'll check that too. And I mean, there is nothing much to see really. Most probably you are targeting this with the JavaScript, and also you're targeting this with the JavaScript, and the href most probably you are targeting with the JavaScript again. So let's go to the styles first. Let me open this side by side so I can see what is happening, and let's go. The fonts, okay, your body, font family, Ubuntu, blah blah blah, your colors. Okay. I mean, this is really tiny CSS, so it's not that heavy CSS, and it's not much to see here. I would maybe go deeper to see that maybe you could reuse some of the styles from the parent, and are you repeating them? So let's just do the random check. I'll just check these div and buttons and see if it's okay. Have start recording, stop recording button, which is good, and which is just a class name. And okay, start, stop button. You have your button, okay. Then you have start recording, background color this, color black, border none. Stop recording, background color black. You have some border over here, and you have color inside. Cool. And start, stop button. It's not used here. Okay, maybe it will be used in the script. So let's go into the script. The HTML and CSS, it's super simple and it's small, and I don't really think we have to spend our time on that. So let's go through the fun part, the JavaScript part, excuse me. Okay. So let's get back to the JavaScript part. And I don't need a terminal. It's not doing anything. It's a small script. And let me see. So you have let's stream. Okay, audio. Okay. Sorry. Why do you need the brackets here? You're just assigning them, right? Why do you need the brackets over here? You haven't used any brackets on top, but you are assigning them here. Something happened? Do you still work? Stop. Okay. It does work, so you don't need the brackets over there. Okay, so first of all, yeah, you are reassigning them. Okay, I see that already. And let's go and read the code first to understand what is happening, and then onwards we will see, maybe we can add something more, and maybe we will be able to add something or fix something, or maybe to apply some best practices. We have a sync function, setup stream type. price, stream, await, navigator, media devices, get display media, video true, audio true. Okay, setup video feedback. Okay, which is this one. And you, if same error, your console logging that. Setup video feedback. If stream and stream you have reassigned here. Video is document query selector video feedback. Okay. And video source object stream video play. Okay. So yeah, this is basically what it does. It just takes the video from the stream and displays it here. Sure. Console warn, no stream available. Okay. And you have start recording, which is most probably assigned to some of the button, which is start recording. And no. Why? Okay, you're doing it here. Okay. So we have start recording, wait suit setup stream. The setup stream requires the user to give the permissions to the browser to select what they want, and mix stream equals new media stream get tracks. Okay. Recorder, new media recorder, recorder on data available, handle data available, chunks, push data. Okay. So it's taking, as I understand, I haven't used really with the Navigator API for the recording, but from what I understand, it just populates, it is recording the data into the stream is happening, it has some chunks, and then when we have it, when some data is available, it's just pushing it to the chunks. That's what I understand, but I honestly haven't used with that. On stop, handle stop, which is blob. Okay, we'll go to that. Recorder start 1000. I honestly don't know what that means. Time slice. Okay, so time slice, it means most probably like every 1 second. And start button disabled true, stop button disabled false. What is your start button? And your start button is happening over here on load. Okay. Recording status, inner text recording. Sure. Okay, stop recording. You are just stopping it, and then you're returning your buttons to their previous state. Fine. And handle data available. We check that. We check if the data is available. I like the names of the functions. Handle data available is a good name for the function. The moment I must say that here right now we have gone through the like half of the code, and because the names of the variables are good, I do understand what is happening over here, and it's so easy to go through that. So we have handle stop. This is a big function. I'm wondering what's doing. The blob is new blob chunks, and type video mp4 chunks. You are resetting the chunks to the empty array. Download button, add event listener, click. Download button, href, URL, create object URL blob. Okay, and download button, stream mp4. So if you don't know what's happening right here, basically what he does, he has created the blob. Blob is a special type, not type of the object, but let me check. Blob web APIs. File like object of immutable raw data and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so he creates basically the object of data of specific type, which is blob. And then he clears up the chunks that he has been pushing the data to from the stream. That means the recording of the video. And what it does over here, you have your URL, which was, URL was, what is URL? What is this URL? It's coming from some library. No, your script is on here. What is URL? Interesting. URL interface represents an object providing static methods used for creating object URLs. And URL, is it available everywhere? Okay, so what it does, it basically creates an object URL for this object blob, where is the data from our chunks, has been recorded and with a type of video MP4. And the download property just says that when you are clicking on that and you are downloading something, you will be downloading the file with the name stream MP4. That was exactly what we have got the last time when you have recorded something, la 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 la, you stop it, and then when you click on download, it takes your stream. Yeah, it's now here just because I have few copies already, but it's still called stream.mp4. Okay, so recorded video source is URL created object blob, which is done for this. And the recorded video, you can go over here and check it here. It is so basically on load, he instantiates all these variables and he assigns the different HTML DOM objects to that particular variable. And here recorded video is that button and its source became URL create object. Record video load on load data, loaded data. Basically what it does is looking for this after recording class name, which is after recording. This is the class name, and it gives its display some display, because if I am not wrong, I can be, but most probably it was display none initially. Yeah, so I was right. And then you have display flex, scroll into view, so it's just scrolling you down there, and recorded video play. So it plays on automatically. And stream get tracks for each track stop. Okay, for each track stop. It means it's stopping the recording, and the inner text status is recording stopped. So it's a pretty simple project. I like it. I mean, it is really done in a good way, and the naming of the variables are great, and in general, it's just good. I mean, I would maybe change few things here, maybe. But if you ask me, if I would see that this project, I would be completely fine with that, and I would not have any issues like why you have done that way, why your decision was this, and so on. It was good. I mean, I would ask, of course, just because I would like to know if the person have done it themselves. But it is good. It's a nice project. It's pretty simple, but it's still good. And yeah, so we have about 45 minutes right now. I think this was a good, there were good projects. The screen recorder was way better and way more interesting than the portfolio. And let's just summarize it. Okay, so let's summarize what we have checked today. I actually want to see this block thumbnail generator. It was not part of the video, but I'm just curious because it was currently working on block thumbnail generator, and I really want to know what is that. So block thumbnail generator generated awesome thumbnails within seconds for free. Set width and height. If you don't know, just click skip. Well, let's just skip. Set your background. I want the background color be no, I like purple. I like my purple colors. Let it be purple. Select a theme. Motivational, gym motivation, self, tech. Of course, tech. Next, choose a background. Okay. Let's go with this nice and spacey background. Preview of your background. Add block title, font, and a text color. The block title will be checking. No. Anon's projects review. Your font. I want my font to be Roboto, and my text color. Well, I hope. What text color? I think white one will look mostly okay here. Let's just make it a bit darker. I think it should be fine. And Anon's projects review. Cool. Download. And I have it here downloaded, which is cool. It's over here, but it's on another screen, so whatever. But it was the same. And nice one. I like it. Of course, there can be more. It could be extended. I would like to see some movement that I can take this text and move it around, and maybe a bit more of typography operations and formatting. But other than that, it's a nice small project. So yeah, let's summarize it. So we have gone through the two projects quite deep, and one project just a glimpse. And they all does work. And as I said, let's start it that way. I will first say about the project number one, then the project number two, and the project number three was just a bonus, so it's good. So the project number one, it was done with the Next.js. I will be repeating myself again, and it does not need Next.js like at all. Get rid of it. Throw it into the trash can. We really don't need it here. You could do it just with HTML, CSS, and even JavaScript was not there. So really throw it away. Your JavaScript will be only basically instantiating your what was that called, animation on scroll thing library. So Next.js, get rid of it. It will create more questions than the actual value. And if I would see something simple like that created with Next.js or even React or even anything which is a JavaScript library except for your animation scroll, I would think twice about going further, because I understand that you don't really know what are the benefits of using that tech. So get rid of that. Just HTML, CSS, JavaScript, pure should be enough. Your screen recorder app had only these three, and it was performing well. It was responsive, and it was in general good. It's a small tool, it's a small project, but it does what it needs to do. It is recording your video, you can preview your video, and you can download it. That's perfect. You have one problem. This is your solution. This is my implementation. It's short. What the questions I could ask you: why did you do it? Why did you do it that way? What was your decisions? Why? What was the problems during the building the process? This project is something to talk about. The portfolio project is basically a static page which could be built with any website builder like Wix or anything, and it's that simple. So please don't really overcomplicate things for projects. They don't need to be done that way. It can be hosted on anything. If you are thinking that you need to do it because you need to host it on the Vercel, no, it could be hosted on anything. It's just three files, and you don't need a server for that. You just basically throw those three files into anything which can basically respond onto the index URL, and you will have it and it will work. So yeah, the portfolio project, while it is done well, there are some issues with this responsiveness, but because of this animation scroll, think about that, fix that, and it should be okay. And please get rid of Next.js. It is an overkill and you don't really need it. Their screen recorder application is nice. I like it. It's simple, but it does what it needs to do. It's good. The code was clean. You had nice variable names. You had nice functions. The function do one thing. Actually, let me just have a look. Yeah, I mean, it's just doing one thing. Like one function has one job and it's doing that job, and it was good. I mean, I can't say much. I can't even change. I mean, I could, but I don't see the reason to do that. Your third project looks interesting. It has a state. I'm guessing it's a React. Or no. Oh, it's just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's even better. Like, guys, guys, everyone, you need to understand that going into the React or any component library or something more like Next.js, because Next.js is kind of a full stack framework. there is no need to go that deep for those deep technologies if you don't use them. If you can create like this thing is nice, it's simple, but it's still nice. Yeah, like it's just changing the state basically, but it's still doing its thing and it works. And you have like different pages, though the routing is not implemented, but it feels like you have different pages, which is nice, and it is done with the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And when you do something like that, the person that sees that, they will think like, wow, that is a good job was done. It may not be in realistically, but my initial thought was that this is React, because in React it's just way simpler to implement that. But if you have implemented something that is can be easily done with the framework or library in vanilla JS, it means that you understand vanilla JS and how that works. Most cases, not all the cases. So don't try to jump over your head and go directly to React or Next.js, Svelte, Angular, whatever, Solid.js, if there is no real purpose to do so. That's that simple. And thank you so much for joining me this project review. Thank you so much, Anon, and give a follow to Anon. He's a great dude. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to review your projects, and it was fun. I enjoyed doing that. Check your GitHub README page on your main profile page, because your commit history isn't so great, right? So better you remove that static page. And thank you so much for joining with me, for reviewing the project with me. It was fun. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on YouTube, and please leave your comments. It was a great time. Thank you so much.